Listen up. Most people walk through life on repeat. Day after day, they go through the same motions, stuck in the same job, surrounded by the same people, telling the same jokes, complaining about the same problems, and dreaming of the same fantasies without ever doing anything real to make them happen. They aren't living a new life each year. They're living the same 6 months over and over again for a decade, 2 decades, sometimes their entire lives. Why does this happen? Because human beings, by and large, avoid discomfort. We don't like stepping outside of what's safe and familiar. We don't want to feel uneasy or awkward. It's as if we'd rather be trapped in a dull routine than risk the unknown. That's why most people never change. They're not willing to enter situations that rattle their nerves or challenge them on a deep level. They'd rather settle in and grow old doing the same things over and over, while time slips by and life remains pretty much the same. But let me tell you something. If you aren't happy where you're at, you have to be willing to take a different road. If you want different results, you can't keep replaying the same scene. That's common sense, right? Yet it's one of the hardest lessons for people to apply to their own lives. Because deep down, the average person is afraid. Afraid to fail, afraid to look stupid, afraid that all this pain might be for nothing. So they stick to what they know, keep everything comfortable, and run out the clock. That's no way to live. I was once one of those people. Trust me, I know how tempting it is to stick with what you're used to. You don't have to risk anything. You don't have to face your demons or your doubts. But I'm here to say that if you stay in that bubble, nothing changes. You'll end up living like most other people, repeating the same 6 months 100 times until you look back at your life and realize you've wasted it. You'll never see the edge of your potential. You'll never know what it means to go beyond your limits. Don't get me wrong, change can be scary. If you've ever tried to break a habit, like junk food, procrastination, or talking down to yourself, you know exactly how tough it can be. The old ways cling to you like a heavy coat that's hard to take off. That coat might be dirty and stinking, but at least it's familiar. You know its weight. You're used to it. Letting go means you have to feel the cold for a while, and nobody likes being cold. But that's where growth lives, in those moments of discomfort. Think about it. Look at any real success story, and you'll find someone who's been through some dark, difficult, and lonely periods. They've stumbled around, faced rejection, heard people laugh at them, and still pressed on. They learned a simple truth. You can't discover your capabilities if you cling to old patterns and old excuses. When life puts you in a chokehold, you can either tap out or push yourself to the breaking point. See how far you can go and come back with that knowledge etched into your bones. So, why is that knowledge so important? Because once you taste it, you can't forget it. Once you find out you're stronger than you thought, faster than you believed, and tougher than you ever imagined, your old life becomes unacceptable. Why would you ever go back to living the same 6 months, the same year, the same lifeless patterns, when you can reinvent yourself again and again? Let me repeat that. Reinvention is always possible. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you're from, how many times you failed, how poor or rich your background is. There is no gatekeeper saying, you can't start a new chapter right now, today. The only person holding you back is you, your own mind, your own fear, your own excuse making machine. And trust me, that machine is strong. It'll grind away in your head, telling you it's too late or too risky, whispering that nobody will support you or you're not worth the effort. And if you listen to it, you'll stay stuck. You see, we live in a world where comfort is for sale everywhere. You can have your groceries delivered, your food brought to your doorstep. You can work from your couch, binge, watch television, and lose yourself in social media for hours. We're drowning in convenience. The moment you feel the slightest bit of discomfort, physical, mental, or emotional, there's always an easy way to escape or numb out. That's why so many people have lost touch with what they could be. They've never forced themselves to do something truly hard over and over again until the difficulty becomes a habit, until progress is the new comfort. People often ask me why I push myself so hard, why I chase discomfort like it's something to be loved instead of avoided. My reason is simple. Discomfort is the teacher. Pain and struggle are the best instructors you'll ever have. They show you the truth about who you are. You can't hide behind excuses when you're gasping for breath in the middle of a grueling run, or when you have to open a book you barely understand and study all night because you set a goal to get a certain certification. When you're in the thick of it, you either keep going or you give up. That's the moment that determines your direction. Now, if you decide to keep going, a crack opens up in your old identity, just enough for change to slip in. Day by day, test by test, mile by mile, you become someone new, not because someone handed you a new identity or because you read about it in a book, but because you went out there and earned it. You wrestled with your own weakness. You overcame the urge to quit, and that process changed you from the inside out. That's how you escape the trap of living the same cycle over and over again. Some of you might be hearing this and feeling a little uneasy. Maybe you feel called out or think I'm judging you. Maybe you're satisfied with your routine and don't see the big deal. Well, here's the thing. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm here to wake you up if you want it. If you're happy with your life, keep living it. But if there's a part of you that's tired of sleepwalking, if there's a spark inside that knows you could do more, then you've got to light a fire under yourself and start making changes that scare you a little. It might mean waking up an hour earlier every day. It might mean hitting the gym when you'd rather flop onto the couch. It might mean signing up for a class you're not sure you can pass or applying for a job you feel unqualified for. Whatever it is, do it. Don't settle. Don't think about it too long, because your excuses will devour your ambition if you give them half a chance. Just take that first step. And remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you'll feel like you're going nowhere and you'll wonder if all this effort is worth it. I've been there. You fail one test, lose a race, or bomb an interview, and your ego takes a hit. You start thinking, what am I doing? I should just go back to what's comfortable. But that's exactly the crossroads where people either level up or revert back to the same old cycle. That's where you decide if you're going to be like everyone else, living the same 6 months forever, or if you're going to break free. Breaking free doesn't mean you'll never fail again. It means you learn to see failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end. It means you get addicted to learning, not to staying the same. It means your goal isn't to coast or impress people with stories of who you used to be. It's to become the best version of yourself day by day for the rest of your life. No more living on autopilot. No more letting comfort seal your fate. I'm telling you right now, you have a choice in this moment. Stay in your familiar loop or step into the unknown and fight for something more. If you stay in the loop, I guarantee you'll be in the same place next year, wondering why nothing changed. If you step out and fight, you might stumble, you might sweat, and you'll definitely wonder at times if you've lost your mind. But if you keep going, you'll uncover strength you never knew existed. You'll meet a version of yourself you've never seen before. Someone who doesn't run from the hard stuff, but attack it head on and keeps coming back for more. That's the person you were meant to be. That's the person who won't accept just living the same story on repeat. Listen, life is precious. You don't get unlimited do-overs. If you spend it locked into the same patterns, you'll never know what could have been. Don't let that be your story. Don't be the person who complains about their job, complains about their relationships, complains about their habits, but never makes a change. Either accept your life as it is or take responsibility and do something new. If you're with me, if you're ready to make a change, then start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it'll never come. Life rarely hands you the ideal circumstances. You create your own luck by being prepared to seize every opportunity that comes your way. That preparation happens in the dark, when you're alone, when nobody's applauding. It happens by grinding away at your weaknesses, by reading, training, challenging yourself, and staying disciplined when you'd rather quit. Yes, it's tough, but that's exactly why so few people do it. And that's why you should, because the biggest reward isn't the applause or the medal. It's the realization that you didn't waste your time on this earth, living the same small circle of life over and over. Instead, you spent it pushing boundaries, evolving, and eventually transcending every limit you used to have. So stop living the same 6 months 100 times in a row. Dare to make a change, no matter how small, and keep stacking those changes until your life looks completely different from what it was. One day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come and just how much more you can still achieve. This is your wake-up call. This is your challenge. Don't waste it. Don't go back to autopilot. And don't ever forget, if you want a different result, you must take a different road. Now get out there and find that road.